Hi, friends. Oh, look at her. She's going to fix that makeup. There we go. Oh, welcome back. I'm Rachel LaForce. If you're watching this, you're probably on the YouTubes. Um, if you're not, you're watching it on socials, hop on over to Mama's YouTube. Rachel LaForce and all of the places. I am an energy reader, a comedian, spiritual healer, entrepreneur. I have too many jobs, is what I'm saying. I even have two children. She's tired, but she's good at what she does. So, today, what I wanted to offer you is just a quick energy read. We're in between the season, there's a lot going on. Energy is super heightened right now. So, I just wanted to offer you a place of something. So, perhaps for yourself, go ahead and find a place that's quiet. If you need to put pause on this video and find something, some sort of place that's quiet for you. I lived in LA for many years, and one of my favorite places was just to sit at the base of a mountain in my car. And that's where I meditated because it felt so powerful and quiet. And also full of life. So, wherever you find that place for you, and even if it's just in your mind, you can go ahead and access that. I'm going to get quiet for myself and say a little prayer from some guidance, and we're going to pull a card and see what comes up. Hmm. This is a good one. All right. This card's cool. Here we go. So, if you're watching this, you can see don't dim to fit in. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? You know what's interesting? I was just thinking about this because there's kind of the typical, I think, like spiritual thing of like, don't like, be big and be bold. And that's, you're here to do this. And something else that popped in for me, and I was like, that's it. And that's what's interesting. The other thing that's really come out of something that's seemingly very toxic, right? And we're saying this on YouTube, the amount of toxic videos and arguments that are happening in the comments section right now. I mean, if I had $1 for every one, I'd invite you to my mansion in Malibu. That I bought with all of the money from people arguing. Something that's interesting from that, and with people getting loud, and it's the seemingly left and the right, and everybody's got differing points of views, and we're all loud, and it's this and that, is there something that's interesting to that, which is anger is such a great indicator of the things that you are really feeling. So a lot of times if it's like don't dim to fit in and you're like I don't really know what that means, or like I don't feel like I get small in front of other people, like if that idea doesn't totally ring to you, it's like I guarantee the times that you feel most angry is because in a lot of ways you couldn't fully show up as yourself. Or when you do fully show up as yourself and you're told no thank you, we don't want it, or you're wrong, or whatever, right? That sometimes if you are struggling to find that this thing, what is the thing that I feel like I'm dimming? What is the part of myself that I feel like I'm not allowing to expand fully? I guarantee you that if you piece together the things that elicit that feeling through your anger, you will find it quite quickly, right? Oh, maybe I've like, oh, I'm always the nice one in my family. And so I always, and it's like, I guarantee it's like, are you the nice one in your family and the one that always like solves everybody's problems or keep the peace for everybody? Are you that person? Or you're just the person that is a little bit more mild mannered. And so somehow you have ended up in the middle and you've become the goalie. That's not your job. If everybody else wants to fight and yell and scream, you let them. Is that how you're dimming to fit in, where it's like, well, I don't want to tell everybody to solve the problems themselves, right? There's all these ways. I think sometimes the idea of like dimming to fit in is like, that we're all out here just like, you know, trying to be Lizzo or something, scandal noted. But, where it's like, this idea, I think sometimes gets so overtaken on the internet, if that makes sense. And it's all like, boss babe, you go girl. And it's like, sometimes I think it's a lot more subtle than that. that what are all of the ways in which throughout the day you depreciate your own value? And so it's not this thing where you're going to like light a candle and talk to a spirit guide and be like, oh my God, you're right. Like I am like, it's like big energy only, or I'm, main character energy or whatever, which I'm here for all of that. I'm simply offering to you sometimes the way in which we dim ourselves is so ingrained in us and is such a part of our relationships that we don't even notice that we're doing it. Even as we grow, even as we have growth, we don't notice because we're like, well, I don't know how to fit in, or I don't know where I fit, or I don't. And so it's like looking at those places of where are the places that you find, and not anger, like, oh, that thing ticked me off. You know what I'm talking about. That deep rooted, I am not listened to. They do not hear me. I am not seen. And I guarantee you it's probably, not to be like inner child stuff, but guarantee you, if you really traced it to who is the person that's that angry, who's the person that's yelling, and I guarantee you, you're looking at a 5 to 7-year-old child. That is yourself. I guarantee you, because so many of those things are deeply rooted in that. And then now we're this fully formed adult and trying to move within that. So that's what I offered to you. And then obviously, yes, I could offer you the very direct, take on what does this card mean, and it's yes, it's that. How are you? You don't need to play small and all of those things. But again, the internet's large, and I guarantee you there's 75 other people that are preaching on that exact same thing. So I will let you find their take on it today. I think that that's really ringing true for me. But I'm going to go ahead and read you again. This is from Rebecca Campbell. We love her. This is from Work Your Light. But her first book, I don't know if it was her first book, but her first book to me, which was Light is the New Black, literally changed my life. It was the first time where I was like, holy shit, somebody thinks like me. Like every, I was blown away. Which if you follow me on YouTube and you've watched this, I had a recent episode of my podcast talking all about oneness versus the whole. And that was so much of it she even talks about in that book of this dimming of her light and how she was in something else that she wasn't supposed to be. When she finally stopped doing this and really discovered what her oneness was, she was able to then connect with all of these other people, myself included, where I was like, oh, maybe I'm not so alone in my oneness, right? Here's what she says. Don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding and you are part of the universe, and so expanding is part of your nature. If someone makes you want to retract, notice and slowly back away. They are not for you and you are not for them. Better yet, find it within yourself to expand and shine your light anyway. Flowers don't open and close according to who is walking by. They open and close their beauty regardless. If others don't want to be around you or you make them feel uncomfortable, it's because you are shining a light on them that they're actually, in fact, dimming of themselves to fit in. So by choosing to shine bright, you may just inspire them to turn on their light too. Or not. Keep your light on anyway. All relationships are essentially an energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement and can create some waves. And that's completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last will adapt to the change in energy. Others won't because they're likely born under the idea of, but I love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. And that's okay. Not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons that they teach us can continue to live on. So I think that's a big one. And also it's kind of that thing too of like, sometimes I think something that gets misconstrued in here, which I always want to offer too, which is like, when is your light not needed? Like, I think there is, because when it's like shine bright anyway, it's like there is something to like, don't burn yourself out. I think something to really being aware of your fullness and of your expansion is knowing when to exercise that and when like of just saving that energy, save that light, And I think the toughest lesson to learn, and if you're in this place right now, and one of you, maybe many more of you, but certainly one of you right now that's in that place, and if you feel me speaking to you, it's you, and in that place of, but the more I grow into my oneness, the more that I feel alone. And I just want to offer you, as a person who has been in that space in so many different capacities and in so many different ways over the last 5.5 years, and even from Rebecca, who obviously was in this exact same place as well, of that, in fact, you're not alone, that so many of us have felt this way, and knowing that the more you're claiming your oneness, that you will find yourself to the other side in the ways that you are, in fact, the very opposite of being alone. So, guys, that's your Rachel LaForce card pull for today. I'm so glad you're here. If this video found you, like, subscribe, go to the channel, check out the videos, share them. Get in that community section. Tell me how you're feeling. I love you so much, and I'll see you soon. Tune out, tune in, stay in it.